Welcome to BliXX. We are Ariana and Beatrice, and together we are BliXX. And today we have our sixth of our sex positive education interviews. We're hosting on our website experienceblixx.com world's best teachers and facilitators who put their love and effort into creating amazing online offerings for you to consume at the convenience of your own home. And today we welcome Maria and Martin, a married tantric couple sharing their wisdom and knowledge with the world in their courses called Tantra for People. Welcome, Martin and Maria. Thank you for having you here.
Hello. Hello.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Martin. Thank you for joining us today. And the first thing that I would like to know about you is about your tantric path. How did you get in there? How do you decide to walk this path? And what are the main gifts that this journey has provided you with?
Before we met each other, both of us, we were for quite a few years already exploring Tantra as individuals. And I guess for me, it was like inner call and intuition telling me that there is much more to life than just living this city life. I was living in London, so I went on adventure. I took myself on adventure. I left city. It was a courageous decision, and with a backpack went to India, Asia, into unknown. So next 3 years I was a nomad, and Tantra just took over, became my lifestyle. So I was basically in a way chasing and seeking for different workshops, retreats, festivals, simply because they were making me feel good. I found sense of tribe. I was reconnecting to my heart and was feeling happier than ever. And a few years later, I met Martin, and he was also into Tantra. He was already living on Tantra Island for many, many years. So we continued together as a couple, exploring. And what also take me on the Tantric path is, of course, the healing part. Because the deeper I was digging, the more things were coming to the surface. So continue looking into it as a couple, and it became totally different journey from rather than individual. How is it for you?
So how is it for me? Tantra came through the yoga for me. So I live in India for almost 8 years, and then in Thailand also for the same amount of time. And at the origin, I discovered Tantra to yoga. So the Tantric yoga is a yoga that focuses on energy. And I tried many styles of yoga when I was in India, and when I encountered this Tantric approach of yoga, then I start to feel very big change in my being, in the whole structure, the way physically, emotionally, intellectually, spiritually. It was more the yoga as an individual path that starts the tantric journey for me. And then gathering with the community and meeting people that are also on this path, I start to discover the sexual aspect of Tantra. And then we meet with Maria, and we really have done this journey together as a couple. For me, it was from the moment I met Maria that the sexual journey of Tantra really starts in a much deeper level. But the origin for me was like a classical Tantric yoga with all the movement of energy, all the activation of the different energical center and paths. And this was for me the beginning of Tantra. Before that, I was a therapist, so I do hypnotherapy, I do different form of energy healing and energy therapy. And this was the base of my the base of my adventure when I start to travel and live abroad.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your path coming from the breaking out of the system part and from the being already in the yoga path, and then the two of you merge together and create Tantra for People, a very wonderful vision that came out of your meeting, and like
From the individual
right?
to the higher impact.
Yeah. Always wonderful when people are really living what they're preaching, and I totally see this in you. So the next question for you is, what is the difference that you would like to see in the world through your love to Tantra and through the work in sex positive education that you're sharing?
Difference in the world. If I take my personal history, I think there was a lot of suppression on sexuality, a lot of disinformation, also a lot of disempowerment through this misinformation and this suppression of all this knowledge and all this practice. And I want to bring this to the world. I think there is absolutely zero sexual education that exists, and piece by piece we put our little element to bring to the world. But I think the world is really lacking a lot on what is can do for you, what it's really about, how to bring it into the couple. And this is our humble contribution.
Humble contribution. Yeah, personally, really, I love love, and I love people in love. And for couples, I know that sometimes even to have love is not enough. There is a lot of armoring, trauma, and old experiences, past stories that create walls in between them, between lovers. And for me, I'm passionate about intimacy, the ability to go really deep, to be super open and trust into love, into yourself, to be able to expand. And this is what drives me in my own relationship. And of course, I'm really happy to guide, or as you said, humble contribution to couples, to give them tools that efficiently can help them to reach this deep level of intimacy.
Beautiful. So let's go deeper into this topic and go deeper into what it actually is inside of the course. I know that the course is divided into 3 different parts. The first part is about the rituals, and as well there is the healing massage for penis and vulvas, yonis and lingams. And then there is a second part that talks about pleasure and sexual energy. And then the third part, which is my favorite topic, is about shadow work, this thing that you mentioned that is most of the time in between, and you know, shadow work and this dark eros and the exploration of all these dynamics. So I would like you to talk a little bit more about this chapter, what is included there.
So yeah, the first part of the course is a tantric massage, but in an approach for healing. And in our experience and in our perception, we really always look for more, and sometimes the good start is actually less. Because the body record quantity of information, quantity of trauma, yours, but also family, society, generational, and all this really go into the body. And so for us, the first part of our chapter is to do the healing. And healing means simply take out and come back to a state of innocence. Take out all the information the body has recorded, and stop you from being fully alive, fully yourself, fully in pleasure. And you realize how much you actually stock inside yourself all this energy. When you take them out, that'd be merely a huge part of my life, not knowing how much I was carrying stuff from my experience, and also all what is passed on to society. So the first part for us would be this healing massage, and then also the connecting ritual.
Yes, we're taking a time to create this container, to meet each other, and to slowly build up towards the expansion, because it can be really scary to go into this full openness. So in part one, we're building up through rituals, through little game. It's very sweet collection of our favorite rituals that we actually use in our life a lot. So we're sharing them from experience. And also healing massage means we're not looking for arousal. We're not looking for result, orgasm, or something like that. So we simply given space to explore, to be, and to witness, to discover what is there. And only later it will be naturally, the body will be ready to go into even bigger expansion and experience and hold pleasure, that amount of pleasure that we're going to create space for it first. So the first part is just for meeting each other and looking what's in there. And for different people, it can be very different. So it might take a healing process, might take a few months, or might take a year. Like in our couple, we were more than half year just practicing healing massages before going into pleasure.
Wow. Yeah, this is, for me, I can relate. I also enter in Tantra because of the yoga. And even, just practicing Tantric yoga, my body was releasing, and I was finding myself like crying every single class. And then when I found my first Tantric partner, and we were, working through healing, wow, so much release, so much tears, so much holding, so much that we store in the body. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, so, because everybody is the same, so we don't see the difference, because most of the people carry so much stuff that it's become a normality, and we don't challenge this normality, because everybody is kind of more or less, but kind of the same. So when we start to work on this, we realize how much we hold on to negative stuff that doesn't serve us, and that completely sit in our body, in our energy, and you need to make the experience of feeling to realize how much you needed it. But like I say, it's not really in our education. Nobody really and so sometimes it's a bit like an adventure going in the unknown, but it's really worth it. I hope I will have met all these techniques sooner in my life. Is one of the reasons we are doing it also. Is I wish I would have known Tantra when I was a teenager.
Yes, same here. Yeah.
Okay, so let's move to the other parts of the course.
You already mentioned before that many of these tools you're actually using yourself in your relationship.
Wait, Ariane. It's they haven't finished to guide us through the course. We are still in part 2. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
So once we create all this space and take our time to slowly explore what is there, then we can slowly but surely move into pleasure. And in pleasure part, it will be all about cultivating the sexual energy, activating the energy, and sublime in it, moving it to upper centers so we can charge our heart, so we can bring it up to our mind. We are slowly again sharing our tools how efficiently to work with this energy that is being activated and alive in our body. And then we can choose what we can do with this energy. We can channel it into creations. We can just simply enjoy it and circulate it. There are many possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
So there we will be using different techniques. Every massage is different, and the result is different.
Mm-hmm.
And then you want to speak about possibilities of orgasmic energy and full body orgasms, and it's all coming from that practices.
Yeah, it's very dear to me, the subject of this pleasure part of the tantric massage, because in my experience, like I say, as a man, we are completely uneducated and even, I don't know, maybe brainwashed, to use a bit of a strong term, but my first experience of full body orgasm came during a tantric massage, and this is something that really changed my perspective, because unless you have it, you don't know as a man that it exists. We are so much programmed to have sexual pleasure in a certain way that the tantric aspect for most of the people, it didn't exist. And I remember when I first was introduced to even the concept, I rejected it as a nonsense. Like, what are you? I live like this for many years, and you tell me to do something completely different. So my first experience was a rejection, and the reason why I incorporate it into my life and why now we are teaching it is because it was my experience. It was a surprise, and this for men that are so type of pleasure to have this experience of full body orgasm, of the orgasm that come without the ejaculation is. You need to learn it, because it's not really natural. It's not what is taught by society, pornography, even worse. So it's something that you need to experience. Before you experience it, you don't know as a man that it exists. It's so different. So we bring this into the course, how to have this type of orgasm. Without ejaculation for men, and then there is a part also for the women with hopefully many technique and many knowledge that we are also not taught at school, but are very, very, very important.
I'm sorry to mention, but it's just so nice to have a man who can have pleasure without ejaculation.
And much more pleasure. Like, what I think is important to say, and what we try to communicate is the pleasure you have from full body orgasms. They are way more pleasurable than that what we are trained to have by a
more intense, and also it kind of changed the whole experience, because it's like this being in presence instead of chasing a goal, and this is like totally shifts the experience of intimacy.
Exactly, and coming back to intimacy again, this type of experiences is like a spiritual experience in a way, and you bring up so much gratitude, a sense of yeah. So it takes your relationship, I know how it's written, but I don't know how to say it. So it brings different quality to your relationship, like from I don't know, simple way of relating. It become one big spiritual experience you're sharing together as two beings. Yeah, it deepens the intimacy and all the beautiful things coming out of it. Yeah. And
very good. So very briefly, part 3.
Part 3.
So part 3, we didn't film it yet. Is when we start this project, it was 3 parts. It's still in the making. Me and Maria, so we are married, and And we met, the first time we met at a Shibari workshop.
This is a modern story.
So we tied each other up and we never untied.
Yes.
And so the subject is very dear to us, because it's part of our history, and also exploring your shadow, reclaiming your shadow, honoring what you are without cutting yourself into the good part, the bad part, what need to be taken out, what need to be kept. So the part 3 is more about embracing who you are and transforming, bringing light to the darkness. But now it's not it's conceptually done, but the final filming and the final making of the third part is going to be done in the next few months. But we know it's here because when we start the program, we really want to have this 3 part that is also our personal story.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, because there is a polarity. There is no light without dark, and there is no dark without light. So it feels more complete if we give so much attention to these 2 first parts, and just leave outside the other one that is also super juicy and bring a lot of pleasure as well. So we might be working with suppressed energies in lower centers that potentially can be again life force and orgasmic energy. We might be working with polarity and submissive and dominant dynamic. We will see what will be burst out of it. It's a journey into unknown, but this is roughly idea where we're gonna go with that.
Yeah. And there is some tools that we want to transmit. We, as students, took a lot of workshop. We learned from our beloved teacher, John Hopkins, that we have a lot of information and tools and practice to bring on the subject. So we are excited to bring this.
Well, I follow you on social media, and I know that you have a lot of dark information to share. And you see pictures.
I can say that it will be working with lower centers and also in a format of massage. So we will continue the massage format all the way towards the third part. And there is much more to it. We're going to keep it intrigued, but there are other parts of our bodies that can also bring us to orgasmic states through massage that are not lingam and yoni.
Good.
So much to discover. I think the moment when we open up to this idea that we can even have an orgasm by touching our shoulder, the moment life is an orgasm, at least for me, it was like, oh wow, yes, this is so pleasurable. Yes to pleasure, yes to life. And yeah, thank you for sharing this deep wisdom and educating people with what you have found out to create more intimacy in your container. When we look deeper into the tools that you're gonna share, the 9 connecting rituals, the pelvic liberation massage, the yoni and the lingam massage, you already mentioned before that you're using most of them in your own relationship. And my question here would be, what are the tools that you use most, and how do they help you in dive deeper in your container?
Beautiful question. Thank you for that. Well, I'm a huge fan of ritual. This is something that I bring in our everyday life. As you said, to create container, to bring sacredness, and just to cultivate and maintain sense of gratitude in this life. So this is one of my most favorite tools is ritual. There are a million different rituals, and basically we live in a ritual. Coming out sometimes, coming back. You can turn whole your life into ritual if there is a presence and awareness But
Yes, yes.
for couples, especially for relationship, for the intimate container, I think nothing create more sense of safety to go in that expansion than ritual.
Yes.
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 Yes, I agree totally. Mm-hmm.
For me, so based on like personal history and background, I realized that for me, I have lot of stuck energy, repressed energy. I've been through trauma when I was young also. So for me, the healing part of the massage and pelvic liberation and also part of the massage that are about freeing the energy that have been locked. For me, it's what I bring a lot of change in this practice. But everyone can be different to different extent. You can have hold on to more or less traumatic things, or very come from a very locked down family society, very traditional Christian traditional, and with a lot of suppressed energy, suppressed thought, trauma in the body. And for me, in my experience, what really changed was more the first part, healing, pelvic liberation, and allows the energy that was trapped to flow again.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, was a big change, and was the healing part. That's what we have. Yeah, that I bring a lot of positive things in our couple from the moment we meet.
Yeah. Also, there is something very important that we use that also a technique that help us to go into other practices and benefit more from them is emotional release practices that we do. And this is crucially important. Again, energy, emotion that is stuck in our body, not necessarily in sex centers, can be anywhere in your body. We just have to maintain that temple empty. So all the other practices, so we can enjoy them more.
I am remembering that this is how we met. We met the first time that the four of us met was doing the emotional release at Nami and Mika workshop.
Right.
Yeah.
And this was the first exercise of the workshop. So this is exactly how we met. Speaking it all, screaming into pillows, fucking pillows.
Yes, exactly. We have bunch of different tools, and we keep researching on YouTube and going to different workshops and discover new tools, and we bring them in straight away and we try them because it's super important to maintain the tempo so we don't project it on each other, and then we can enjoy the pleasure of life and be in a peaceful and nervous system state. Yeah,
I agree. I also use them a lot. Or try to use them. Sometimes I don't even have the time or the space, and then I go directly into the story. But it's good to have an awareness, and it's good to use them.
Exactly.
Okay.
They only work if you use them.
I know. Yeah. But you know, sometimes you know what happens. Sometimes we get triggered. And well, I guess it works in process, but sometimes you don't even realize how triggered you are, or you are like totally out of balance. Your nervous system is out of balance, but you are not realizing in this moment. It's like, okay, yeah, I can do that. You know, so sometimes you don't have this clarity or this space. Then when you go through a process, then you can recognize this part of yourself. So next time you are better. But the first time, sometimes it's like, I don't know, it happens to me. Sometimes it's like with my premenstrual symptom, you know? Sometimes I don't even realize that I am in this part of the cycle. And then,
My teacher said,
Ariane is on the train and sometimes she has announcements. So when she has announcement, we mute herself. Well, Ari, you talk.
Wait, I wanna add here something. Wait a moment. We can cut this out. I'm gonna cut it. Okay. So my teacher said that there are three levels of awareness. There's the level of awareness when we become aware that we did something after we did it. Then there's the level of awareness when we become aware when we do something while we're doing it. And then there's the level of awareness that when we're aware before we even doing it. So, and life is not, it's not the goal that we always hit level 3 of awareness. It's about like realizing and evaluating where is our level of awareness, as you said, Beatrice. And when I'm having PMS, I realize when I'm through it or in it that I have it. So it's totally okay to not always know it before, but it's good to keep on tracking the level of awareness where we're at in everything.
I will say that there is another level of awareness there. It's like the moment that you know that you can observe yourself, but you are still doing it. I mean,
this is there also.
This is like very painful, when you don't manage to make that shift.
Well, in relationship, especially long term, after a few years, if you don't recognize that it's repetitive pattern you've done a million times, then you're just stubborn. It's like, you know that you're doing the same. So then it's like up to you to work with it or not. Yeah. Miro.
And we're gonna bring something that we learned recently, but that worked very well. There is also some emotional release tools that work in couples. So many of the ones that we know that we have been through together when first we meet, they are individual, but there is some that actually work also for couple. And this is something that we have used recently that we are going to bring also to really have a safe and an efficient container to bring the challenge, to bring the emotion that are projected, because when we live together, it's not anymore an individual journey. We trigger each other, and you can go on like this downward spiral, or have tools to solve them. And it's a matter of education, because we didn't know these tools, and since we start to learn them and to use them, we actually find a lot of benefits of this, especially designed for couple tools for emotional release. And
let's talk about the benefits. Let's talk about exactly what are the benefits that this course is going to bring into couples. What is the potential to shift the intimacy, the safety, the trust within the relationship container?
Okay. I need to charge, so I
just
make
one second. We're gonna plug the charger. Somehow all the batteries that we charged overnight already finished. I don't know.
Well, we have been chatting for a while.
Well, what are the benefits? The benefits. What are the benefits? Well, it's a journey, and through this journey, I think firstly you're getting to know yourself more. Even the partner is holding space there for you. You're actually meeting some parts of yourself for the first time ever. So once you start to know yourself better, it's kind of like, I see it like maturing. You start taking you go on another level in relating with yourself and your partner. You start taking responsibility for your well-being, for your pleasure, for you're not anymore relying on external world or your partner to bring you pleasure, or for your mood to be good today. You're just doing all these tools. You clear what's happening in your temple and with your needs or desires, and from there it's up to you. You can create your reality. I would say the benefit is to mature, to get more empowered as a human being, and bring more pleasure and fun in your life, for sure. And I see it's gonna spread even outside of your relationship and your intimacy. It's going to affect all aspects of your life. this expansion and maturity. So I don't know, like even at work or in relationship with your parents, there will be benefits because there will be more lucidity, more awareness, more understanding of what's going on with yourself from this place. What would you add?
What I would add, so when we was on this journey and we did like a lot of workshop, a lot of year-long training, and from what we experienced, what we wanted to bring is something for couple, because we see many people and many workshops that are done by individual for individual, and we wanted to add this dimension that we are a couple, we are married, we are living together, and we can help each other in so many ways. And what's missing is tools, is knowledge, it's a desire to do it, of course, but many people, they have the desire to do it and they just don't know how to do it or that is even possible. So I think what we really want to bring, and the course is specific for this, is something that you can really do in couple. And there is a lot of stuff that individual can do as individual. A lot of retreats, there is a lot of information, there is a lot of stuff. But we thought when we created this that couple for couple was something that was a little bit missing. So yeah, the benefits of the course is really, if you are in a relationship, to bring this relationship to a new level. That at the same time is paradox, like Maria said, and she insists on it, is self-empowerment and self-responsibility, and we bring this in a couple container, and we can help each other and heal each other and give a lot to each other in this class. So yeah, the benefits is for couple. We took this small part that is not a small part, but we really wanted to bring this from a couple to other couple.
Very good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for doing this, because I also agree that a couple is probably the greatest container for personal growth. A couple or a threesome, or just related to someone else, is how you kind of see the mirror and you get more information to yourself. So thank you very much for doing this, and we recommend all our couples in our audience, binary and non-binary, the dynamics are the same, to get this course from Maria and Martin, that I just realized that I say your name in English.
I'm international Martin.
He's French, so Martin. And yeah, I mean, and they're a beautiful couple, totally living what they preach. And I'm sure that if you get it, you are gonna get the tools and then all the knowledge, but as well a transmission, which is the most important thing that one can offer, like this living experience. So yeah, thank you very much.
I want to add something as well, that in our course we don't use models, so it was very important for us that we are giving direct transmission and demonstrating everything ourselves. So there is no middleman or woman or an apple or a model. It's coming really from us. It's our baby. It's very vulnerable, and we took this decision to share it with world from us, to be like this, fully open and give everything to the table.
Thank you for sharing this vulnerability and your naturality and your authenticity with the world, from people for people. I like that very much. Thank you. And thank you for being here. We have 2 more short last questions that we give to everybody. So when you hear BliXX, what comes to your mind?
I can read your mind.
And beneath the lines.
Instantly, popcorn style, playfulness, openness, juiciness, the liberation, self-expression, family, tribe, community, healing.
Yeah, you say it.
We were lucky to experience your event. We came there a few times, no? Yeah, and this is all what been in that container, all of it, what I just mentioned, and much more. Potential for healing is huge. So of course it's a sensitive path to walk, to go in such a courageous expansions, but brings so much, not bad, and it brings so much healing. So for me, it's really healing with playfulness and collective healing and tribe, sense of tribe.
Yeah, I think that's, I repeat this one because for me also is a sense of tribe that is very, very important. Like we say, we create container for couple, but then the second container that is missing, that is so important, is a tribe, is a group. And it's very important that we start gathering together and relate each other as part of a tribe. That's what you bring, what other people bring. That for me is a very important aspect, but also need to be changed in the world we're living.
Being seen, right, on our natural beauty and expression is so important
And
to
it's
have
just
this witness for integration.
Love and acceptance.
Expansion, when we cultivate love with ourselves, then we take it to another level of relating to another. Then we can go even further and expand with our tribe and communities. It's just love.
Easy. The answer is easy, right?
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
Very quick question and last one. So what's the very single thing that make you feel more bliss?
What is the thing that makes you feel bliss?
Yeah.
That make you feel more bliss?
More BliXX. Bliss or BliXX?
More bliss. To be fully seen and received and accepted in all the colors. Like to be in a shit storm and still be held by loving presence. This gives me sense of bliss.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
I would say the same actually.
Oh wow.
We are together, we have the same bliss.
Very, very aligned, this tantric couple. Wonderful.
What can be more blissful than being just fully accepted?
Yeah.
With all your fears and desires and shadows and light. Yeah.
Everything is welcome. So thank you for bringing yourself into this interview with all that you are. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for being. Thank you for sharing.
We love you so much.
Thank you, guys.
I love you.
Inspired by you. Thank you for doing what you do and giving all of us this opportunity to play and grow and evolve and expand.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your words, guys, and for your time. And we hope to see you soon.
Yes. It would be lovely to catch up. Now that you're very close to me, let's make this happen. It would be super good. Yeah, tribal reunion. Yay!
We will come.